have a webinar and live demo regarding TechSoft's ModelSearch new release. This is a revolutionary 3D geometrical search solution, which is now available for MultiCAD within PTC Windchill. So environments include SolidWorks, Inventor. We're going to go over some details of this today. We have on the line with us Gerard and Daniel. They are going to be showing us the new release, highlighting some new customers, stuff like that. So Daniel Hanger is the senior AE for TechSoft, and Gerard Schwab is the partner sales manager. So thank you guys for joining us today, and I will go over and hand over the floor to these gentlemen. I'll be recording the webinar, and we will take Q&A at the end. So Gerard?
Yeah, thank you very much, Becca, and thanks for the invitation and the warm welcome. So once more from our side, welcome, and it's we really appreciate to have you here with a lot of news coming out of our solution set, and as well really special, we have a worldwide premiere, so you will see first time our newest release of ModelSearch, and my colleague Daniel Hinger later on will do a live presentation and show the features and the functions. And let me introduce a little bit our company. I have seen some of you almost attended a call, that's why I really have a very comprehensive information here. Just for your information, we are doing product development as a PTC product development partner as well since '91. There is almost a solution from us as well on the PTC price book. It's called Part Library. It's from the former Co-Create area, where the former Solid designer has standard libraries and parts. And we started in '84 our business and have now worldwide resellers, and we are really happy to have TriStar as a very strong partner in the United States. And for today we have planned to show you the highlights and the news of ModelSearch. We started with ModelSearch right now almost 6 years ago, and what was the really revolutionary thing on that? Because there was several 3D geometrical search solutions almost on the market. But when we evaluated that and have spoken with PTC, all of the solutions are working not with native PTC CAD data. That means no native former Pro Engineer files, now Creo parametric file or Creo element direct files from modeling. And so one of the really USPs is, first of all, we have a native Creo parametric and Windchill environment, and it's more than that. ModelSearch is an Windchill application. You will later on see what's all about that. The other point was, when we have brought the solution with the release #1 in the market, we have several larger customers with more than 200 CAD users, and they said, oh, it's nice to have such a solution, but we like to go a step further. We don't like to search for similar geometrical parts. We'd like to have a solution which us as designers gives an automatically support when we are designing a part and get the information with the almost similar geometrical part information. And that's not all about, it should not be able to search about parts. It also should be able to have a functionality to search about assemblies. And how does this work? We will show you, and it's really almost a very revolutionary, and what I see when I'm customer facing, a surprising solution what's in here. Why is geometrical search so important for our customers and prospects? Because most of all likes to reuse the existing design data. They want maybe to be able to have a very fast use of variants. it should be a very easy to use solution where the users don't have to spend a lot of time in training or learning. And it must be absolutely flexible, so it has to fit in all of your different customized Windchill and Creo parametric environments. And why it is so important to reuse data, you see on the right up side here on the screen, out of some European organizations, what are the costs for a new introduced part. And the cost, what you can see roughly here in euros, it's almost the same in US dollars right now, is the calculation from really the product life cycle of a part. That means from design to simulation to calculation to manufacturing to produce the part, to have it on store in your inventory, and sometimes you have to fulfill service part delivery agreements for 15, 20, 30 years. I know we have companies or attendees today from all the different industry parts, like mechanical parts, electronic parts, airplane industries, automotive industries and suppliers therefore. And so I'm sure you know what I'm talking all about. So why is it so important to have a solution which is absolutely integrated? That means first of all that our so-called geometrical footprint generation is done automatically. So you have not to spend a lot of administration works what former or other solutions really have. How does that work and how is it all integrated? You will see in the live presentation. We are working not with neutral data, and it's also not no work to do any classification work up front. I heard it always when I'm in the market out there in the field that there are a lot of constraints there and really objections about that point. That's why I highlighted it. Fully integral. We are using in the standard Creo parametric and Windchill environment the Windchill visualization service process to generate whenever from a life cycle perspective a part is, for example, released to manufacturing. That's more than 90% of the customers also then latest like to have also a geometrical footprint generated to store it in a database so that everybody in the whole company see there is almost from a geometrical perspective a similar part in our database. For sure it will help to reduce cost, part reuse, and we have several customers which have a return of invest less than 12 months. I will later on show you some examples. So as a summary, the important and I think really the advantage for everybody of you who is interested in model search is that you have to do no additional work. Neither for the design process, nor for the administration or the installation and implementation of model search. Together with the TriStar team, we can help you very, very fast to use model search in your daily business. And also very important because we have a request, I think the last 2 weeks from other prospects in the United States where we are in different sales cycles in there. What is about the performance? So due to the fact that model search is a so-called in-memory, or we are using an in-memory technology and have a big data environment in the background, we can guarantee that on the client side, that means for every Creo parametric user or Windchill user, if you are working with model search, you haven't any performance issue, even if you have different globally locations in using that. So the bottleneck always is the bandwidth and the performance in Windchill be the M-Link at all, but with model search we can guarantee that there is no performance issues. So I'm really proud and I'm really happy also today to introduce the newest functionality in the newest release. Our development team released it yesterday evening, so it's ready for use. And we have brought a lot of really very powerful add-on applications in there. So you will see later on in the presentation how ModelSearch works, and my colleague Daniel will highlight some functionalities in there. So we have also now a so-called MultiCAD environment, and we are supporting the solutions what you can see here. That means that the geometrical footprint also from different CAD environments are produced, are organized also automatically. Also we take care here that the data in your Windchill environment are not exploding. That means we will have the same environment. It's not important or it's not necessary that, for example, if you have Inventor data and you like to generate this geometrical footprint, it's just a batch process in the background, and we are using the Unite technology starting from Creo 3.0, what PTC is announcing here, and doing the geometrical footprint information. We have a very interesting new search functionality in there. It's called Raw Part Finished Part Search, and along with that comes a so-called part comparison functionality, where you get as CAD user the geometrical differences shown on your screen, and you can very, very fast decide if you like to go forward with this part what you have seen, if this part really fits to your design ideas or to your design proposal. Extended and combined search, also an important point. We have several customers here where the functionality that like to have is that they can have extended search criteria which are not stored in Windchill. For example, a price of a part, or maybe is this part almost on store, and do we have maybe a preferred supplier for this part. So if I find different parts, I'd like also to add such a functionality. ModelSearch 4.5.1.2 has a very, very new look and feel. You will see that later on. And also there is a bunch of new functionalities in having easier and more powerful search functionalities to get very fast the right point. As well, we have an CAD parameter dependent live search, also an important point what some of our customers like to have. And for sure what we will show you today is how ModelSearch works together with Creo 4.0 or Windchill 11, but as well this new solution works with Creo 3.0 and as well Windchill 10.2, because I know that some of you are still not on the latest releases from PTC here. I'd like to give you a highlight information on some decisions for ModelSearch and why this company is decided for. So we have got the company-wide decision in the Northern Machinery Group in Sweden, in Europe, and first they just like to start with 10 or maybe 15 licenses. They have 50 designers in their organizations, and when they have done an evaluation of a longer period with different key users, they have seen a very, very strong impact for them, and so they decided very fast to have a company-wide environment and use of ModelSearch. Another one maybe is M&W products in Germany, a multi-concern which are producing mechatronics parts in the automotive and in the railway industry as supplier. And as well here they are using ModelSearch very, very powerful, and it gives them a lot of additional functionalities and return of invests in there. Last but not least, the reference in Italy with the company name Gessi. They are doing sanitary devices, and also from the VP of Engineering we have a written confirmation that the return of invest was less than 9 months for their model search usage within the combination of Creo Parametric and Windchill. So you see here an excerpt of some larger organizations and some reference installations out of the last months and the last year. So we have globally organized companies like KTM Sport Motorcycle, like Liebherr, or like the GC Group in Germany as well, Vestas in Denmark. So there are different users and organizations which are using very, very successful model search. Oh, pardon me. Okay, so therefore I'm on the last slide in the introduction, and I'd like to welcome my colleague Daniel Hinger, who will give us a live, because it's always the powerfulest way when you can see the solution live, how it works and how it's gone there. In the meantime, I will look if we have any questions so far. So feel free, if you have any questions, you have the opportunity in the question area to type in some questions, and at the end of the presentations we are more than happy to answer your question. So right now I will share the screen to you, Daniel, so you are the presenter, and okay. In a second we will see the presentation. Yeah, everything is up and running. We can see your screen.
Perfect, perfect. So hello from me. I'm Daniel. I'm with TechSoft for about 13 years, and with PTC products for about 10 years, I would say. And I will give you a round trip about model search, how it's integrated in Creo Parametric and the Windchill environment. And of course, I will highlight some new functionalities, as Gerhard mentioned. So first of all, well, I'm a design engineer. I have a part in mind I have to design, and maybe it's this simple bracket here. And what I can do, or typical will do, is, well, I fire up my Creo Parametric, in this case a version 4.0, so the latest release we support with model search. And of course I will design a new part and do some basic stuff in here. So maybe I can start with a sketch and try to do an extrude, and maybe I put in here some values, for example 90 and 70 millimeters, and maybe it's 70 millimeter thick. Maybe I can change the rendering style here. And something is going on the right hand corner. I do not care at the moment about this thing, and maybe I can do a second extrude and adjust some values here as well. Maybe I can mirror this to the downside of this part and add some more dimensions to get my part working as I'm expecting, and maybe 50 millimeters here, and okay, we're done. And what's now happening, Creo will regenerate the part, and I will get some suggestions of similar parts from model search automatically. So I do not have to press any button or do the search by myself. Model Search Live will take care of this and present me with this nice little application down here. And of course I can investigate this search result, and what we want to remember for now is maybe there is a similarity rating for about 90%, okay, whatever that means. And when I put some more details in this part, so for example I add the hole in the middle here and maybe 25 millimeters, okay, and do then extrude through the other side. And Model Search Live again will present me with a similarity or similar parts with a percentage rating of 94%. So it's even more similar to the last one. And what I can do now, for example, is, of course, I can right-click and open the model in my Creo Parametric, or show some details in my Windchill environment and web browser. Maybe I can assemble this model to my assembly as well. But the new and the cool stuff comes here. I can now compare the two models. So I can automatically load this in my Creo Parametric environment, and ModelSearch will create a temporary assembly and put the parts together, regardless of any datum features or coordinate systems or stuff like this. So we are looking just at the geometry and try to find the best fit and the most overlapping geometry of the two parts. And of course, I've got here a nice visualization, and I can do maybe some basic stuff in here. For example, let's hide this one and do stuff like this. And so I get the difference between the two parts. Maybe I can assign some additional coloring to the parts if needed. And we also provide some cross sections out of the box, so you can just activate them, investigate the two parts, do some measurements, and dig into it. And of course, so it's very easy for me as a designer with practically no time wasted. I can either reuse the ModelSearch presented me, or maybe I can just copy it along with the drawing, and do not have all the detail work and the surface finishing things and geometrical tolerances and stuff like this. And as a design engineer, I will save a lot of work to have this functionality by my hand. Another thing we can do inside Creo Parametric, of course, is maybe we can open a second part here. So I get into my workspace, and maybe this one. And maybe I'm located in manufacturing, and I have to do some preparation for manufacturing this part. And what I'm looking for is maybe I've got some semi-finished parts or raw parts, pre-cut parts, pre-machined parts. And what I like to look for is, do I have any parts on stock? Okay, so I'm looking for a similar parts which this part can be manufactured. And what I can do here is just press a button, and ModelSearch will take care of the rest. So maybe I can use this in casting environment, which I have the cast part, and I have to do some manufacturing on it, or maybe I can use it to do some spare parts or manufacture some spare parts. Maybe I can reuse some parts on stock for a prototype or stuff like this. And what we try to do here is to find the best part will fit this geometry. Maybe this will take some seconds here, but it will finish soon, I will promise. So where we're going here. I'm still here, so we're waiting together. Okay, perfect. And what I'm getting now is some similar result as we've seen before. So I got an overlay of the two parts. They are perfectly aligned. So the first part are covered in this other part, so I can really machine this and do a lathe or milling. And of course, I can reuse it or redefine my view on this part and see what areas has to be machined, and I get out the volume which has to be machined and stuff like this. So a very powerful tool to find not only geometrically similar parts, but similar parts with a variety of different aspects for manufacturing. And of course, we can do this other way around. So maybe I load a semi-finished or pre-manufactured part, and I like to see which parts I can manufacture out of this one. So we can do the other way around as well. Basically, how is this done? Well, it's easy to describe. So maybe I can just use a step file for explanation. I can import this step file into my Creo parametric, and not in, well, I don't want to use or assemble it, so I will open it in a separate window. Okay, so I've got this part imported, and of course ModelSearch Live will present me with similar models here as well. So regardless of the data, or regardless of the CAD system, ModelSearch will bring me the result. What we are doing here is we automatically generate a footprint. Okay, so this is either done on the client side in my Creo parametric, as you can see here, or on the Windchill server where the visualization process is running, and this footprint is automatically taken during the visualization. It's basically no time effort for the administration or any user. So all the classification, I would say, is done automatically, and this geometrical information are stored in our ModelSearch database. So we do not have to export this part in a step or STL file or stuff like this. So we don't change your parts, and we store this in a different database, so your data is safe. Okay, maybe we can switch the sides, and I will show you some functionalities from the new release inside the Windchill web browser or the Windchill environment itself. So maybe again, I'm using here my web browser, and I'm looking on this part, and maybe I'm located in manufacturing as before, and I have to machine this part, and well, maybe there are some kind of parts in my database. They look like this one, and maybe I can remember it. I've done or machined this part a year ago, but I don't have any name or number to search for. So what I can basically do is use the integrated functionality in my Windchill environment. So I can search for similar models in my web browser as well, and I got here a native Windchill table. So every user of Windchill will know this. You can filter it, you can resize it, you can sort it. You got this nice little preview, and what we've done here is, for example, we just compare this part as you saw before here in my web browser as well. So maybe I can do here a side-by-side comparison. And see, okay, maybe some of these bosses are missing, and yeah, well, save some time here when I can reuse most of my NC programming or fixtures and clamps and stuff like this. I've also got the experience how I manufactured this part in the past. Maybe I've got some preferred supplies for this part when I'm not manufacturing it in-house. So perfect environment for purchasing or manufacturing departments as well to use ModelSearch here in the Windchill environment. What we've implemented also are a neat feature to switch the oh, where it's gone? Oh, where's my window? Yeah, to switch the unit system as well. So maybe you're a globally acting company, and of course you've got many subsidiaries and locations around the globe, and every user should get the preferred unit system they are used to. In my case, it's metric, and maybe in your case you want to use inch and pound as well. So no hassle there. You can easily switch them and use your desired unit system here. Of course, we can do some parameter search, as you maybe see in a past webinar we've done. So what we can basically do is reuse all these geometrical informations and attributes to directly search for them. And for example, I've got here a part which is a really bad photo, I would say, maybe from a service technician on site at the customer, and maybe this part has to be replaced. And what I get here is a bad photo of it, and of course maybe I can guess the size of the part, and maybe I can see, okay, there are 3 holes in there, and maybe I can use this information to search for this part. And what we can do here is, for example, I will use a template, and you can create your templates yourself as well. So just for that you can see it, maybe I can look for a plate with 4 holes. Okay, so I can enter some values here, search for them, and what model search will bring up are, of course, models or plates with 4 holes. And I'd like to use this behavior and this functionality to just look for this this part in this photo. Okay, and what I'm basically doing here, maybe I can just zoom my screen a little bit. I'm just guessing the rough size of it, so the length, the width, and the height, and the number of holes. Okay, and when I hit the search button, I'll get a search result, and okay, this one is not the one I'm looking for, but there's some there are 2 parts, they're looking pretty much the same. Maybe I can compare this together, and just based on the size and the number of holes, I can search through my Windchill database and find some models which have these attributes. But of course, what we want is not to look for these geometrical attributes, but we are looking for maybe some additional information. So what we provide here is the ability to use external attributes. So what is an external attribute? Maybe it's an attribute in Windchill, so maybe some kind of life cycle state, if this part is in work or approved or released or stuff like this. Maybe we can use a parameter directly from my CAD model, for example, some mass properties or material information, or where is the part stored. So maybe I'm using this product or context behavior from Windchill to limit the search range, I would say. And of course, we can deal here with really external attributes from other applications. So maybe you got an application, an enterprise resource or an ERP system to manage all the commercial stuff, and you want to get some manufacturing information, some prices, or is this part on stock or not. So all of this stuff we can handle here in this parameter search as well. And we combine these 2 together. So for example, when we're looking maybe on this part here, okay, so it's a simple bracket with a hole pattern in it, and we're looking for a similar model. What I get here is obviously similar parts, as you all know. And maybe we can refilter all this search. So for example, in this case, all my location is in this product called ModelSearch in my demo environment. Okay, and there are some other parts from different products or different contexts, and we can use these external attributes, or in general parameters or attributes, to redo the search. And for example, in my case, I only want to search for the or similar parts in the ModelSearch product I have here. And as you can see, the location is cleaned out, and obviously the other location is gone away. Good. Of course, we can handle duplicates, so we can geometrically find or we can find geometrically exact parts. So what I mean here is I've done the search already, so it's very quick. And when I dig into some of these groups, I will get presented some parts here. So for example, this one, they are geometrically exactly the same. Okay, so they've got different names, but from a geometric perspective, they are exactly the same. Now I can maybe export this to Excel and process this list outside of Windchill and do some basic stuff, and maybe I can change the lifecycle state to not using or further using this part, or maybe I decide this copy is okay, so maybe it's a different color or a material or stuff like this, and this is not a bad, but in this case a good duplicate of this part as well. Last but not least, we talked about part and how we can find part and the automatic geometrical generation of this footprint and stuff like this. But we can also deal with assemblies as well. Okay, so maybe I can open a small assembly here. For example, where is it? Here is my robot. Okay, so I've got a small assembly here, and of course it would not be that good to look for a similar assembly. There are 100 of parts in there, so that make not really sense, I would say. But what I can do here, for example, is I just pick a part here, and maybe I can use this sub-assembly and activate the sub-assembly and just do a search in my Windchill environment based on this activated sub-assembly. And what I get here now, of course, in this case, not on ModelSearch Live, but in this integrated workgroup manager and web browser, similar sub-assemblies or even parts to maybe do some design studies, and maybe we use some sub-assemblies which are already created and stuff like this. Good. So I think this is it from my side, and we've got a few minutes for Q&A. Gerhard?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I see that we also have some question. I don't know, Becca, would you like to moderate something of questions, maybe what you have got as well? Otherwise we can answer. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see one question here that came in about 10 minutes ago. It says, great demo. Will the experience be similar for the Inventor users, such as the ModelSearch pop-up menu? The majority of our seats are Inventor WGM with Windchill 10.2.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I can answer the question. We have what you have seen here from the functionality perspective is in combination with Creo Parametric, and the full functionality is one by one the same. So all the Windchill and parameter search and so on works for all the different MultiCAD systems as well. The ModelSearch Live pop-up information that comes just along with Creo Parametric or with the CAD tools, which comes directly from PTC, because here we have as product development partner the API information and can build that in. So for Inventor, for example, that's the only difference, that there is not this pop-up information, but all the other functionality, what you have seen in the demo, is absolutely the same.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. There's another question that came in that says, I was interested in ERP communication. What about if I want to search a screw in stock or a rivet, depending on price?
Okay, very, very good question as well, and very welcome. We have some customers here where we have done an integration in ERP, and so it's possible to find such an information. I can have this extended information. So what you have seen with this duplicate search, for example, sometimes may I use a standard library, for example, as a good example for a duplicate. You will have in your stock different libraries which are geometrically absolutely duplicates, but they are on different materials. And also along with this material they have a different price. And this information of price, for example, is stored in your ERP system. So you can add and filter about this information, and you can search as an extended search or combined search, we call it, for additional informations out of any database other system. It's now a functionality what we are supporting. From an implementation point of view, for sure this has to be configured and it has to be installed within the first time installation.
Perfect. Thank you. So it looks like that's all of our questions so far. Does anyone have any last minute questions you'd like to get in? You can go ahead and type those in now before we wrap it up. Just FYI, I will post the recording on our TriStar Resource Center on our website within about an hour, so you guys can watch that and pass it along to team members. And then you can also check out and request more information about TechSoft Model Search on our website under the Products tab. But Gerard and Daniel, it looks like we're good here. So any other last comments before we wrap it up today?
So from my side, I'd just like to thank for the attention and the interest in the solution, and we are looking forward to going in a project with most of you gentlemen. Looking forward, yeah.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day.
Yeah, same to you, and hear you soon.